Namaskar, everyone. Happy Sunday. A joy always to be with you. I want to speak about something that I think we don't give enough attention to, or proper attention to. Your mind. Your mind. Your ego mind, because the ego is behind the mind. Do you know that every thought you think about, and it grabs you, it holds you, it pulls you, it draws you into the world? It could be a thought of fear where you contract. It could be a very positive thought. It could be a thought of aggression. It could be a thought of anger. Do you know that these are creating your destiny? Every thought that grabs you. And if you look through your day, how many thoughts would have gone through your mind? Unnoticed. Unnoticed. And when you think that your thought is simply something inside of the mind, your thought is a vibration and it's in a field. In yoga, we call it the manomaya kosha. The thoughts dominate a layer that involves the entire body. Manomaya kosha. And in the mental space, to deal with thoughts, you have the buddhi, the intellect. And this is another layer, a processing layer. And that's where it can be a transformational layer. It's called a sheath, a kosha, vijnanamaya kosha. So you have a processing tool in the mind. And then the center of your soul is a conscious soul. It's conscious of your universe. It's conscious of the information that it's gathering. It can be. It has the ability to be conscious of everything you experience. When you don't have control over it, you become so consumed in fear or anger or frustration, and you're not aware of what it's doing to every cell in your body, because it's a layer. It's connected to every part of your body, every cell, every organ, the brain, the heart. And you do not look at what it's creating, because sometimes you raise your blood pressure, you become angry, you become frustrated, you become fearful, and you're not looking at what's happening inside of the body because of this energy layer that touches every cell and even the space around you. Because your vibrations go into the space around you. And do you know the real challenge is the uncontrolled mind? Not the mind that you can plan and think and create and vision and attract all kind of beautiful things from your universe. The uncontrolled mind that has aggression, fear, anger, lust, greed, pride, manipulative. That is the mind that we need to be mindful of, because that mind can ruin you, destroy you. So, do you have control over your thoughts? Can you control your thoughts? When you see aggression come, you see fear come, you see negative thoughts come into your field, do you have control over it? Should we send a soldier to war without training? Should we send someone to a job who only went to school and never was trained as an apprentice? Would you like to have someone do surgery after reading the book? No. Apprenticeship, learning, growing, experiencing. That's how we train the mind. That's how we train the mind. That's why the discipline of training and apprenticeship is so important. Sometimes we think that we are good now. I remember the little story that I never forgot because I was held in that challenge. Of the person who was so eager to learn meditation, the aspirant, the seeker, went to the master and told the master, please teach me meditation. I think I'm going to be very good at this meditation. Full of pride. Wanted to learn this. So he can teach it to others. Master looked at him, assessed him, and says, yes, I'm going to teach you meditation. Come, sit down. Taught him the proper posture. And it says, now we're going to train the mind. He says, but the first thing is don't ever think of a monkey. I can do that. That's easy. When he sat down and began to think, no, okay, I don't need to think of a monkey. I can make this mind silent. every monkey he ever saw in his life came up, and he couldn't move it from the mind. He thought he could control the mind, but the mind is like, wow, you think you can control it? Then he realized the foolhardiness of thinking that he could control the mind, and it was so easy. Then, of course, the Guru taught him the breath and taught him the mantra and taught him how to become fearless in managing the mind. But it required training. And in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a question of Arjuna, Master, O Krishna, this mind is restless like the wind. How do I control this restless mind? And Krishna is saying to him, yeah, the mind is certainly restless. He says, but you can control it. He says, I'll give you the secret of controlling the mind. Two things. One is vairagya, which means that you cannot be consumed with the world. You have to learn to let go, to detach. When you sit for meditation, you should be totally here and now. Vairagya. You cannot be sitting here and then thinking about this or thinking about that and taking up here. It's an insult to your higher self, to God. That's not meditation. Count that out. Vairagya. So when you sit down, all that is before you is you and the divine. That's why in the meditation I try to bring you back again and again, because I'm aware of the field. And he says the other one, which is extremely important, abhyas. Abhyas. Practice, 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 practice. Do you think when you come here on Sunday alone, that's the practice of meditation? No. Every day. And if you can, like me, every moment. I've developed a practice of every moment. Not every day, every moment. From the moment these eyes wake up to the new day, until it closes and goes. and the soul goes into its slumber. The body doesn't go, the body is completely working. The soul goes into slumber. I am mindful. And I'm so mindful that even the protocol of going to sleep, I ensure that I have a protocol that will support the body during the sleep. So the breath work, the prayerfulness, the connecting to the divine, and going to bed with that, so that can hold the body as it goes through its phases of detoxing and cleansing and restoration and recovery. So learning to control the mind, and then the monsters our mind creates over time from all the incessant thinking and the experiences of the world. We create thoughts of fear, uncertainty, low self-esteem, giving up, rather than thoughts of strength, positivity, fearlessness. These need to be cultivated, and that's why we have ashrams and hopefully schools in the future that can really teach our kids how to become fearless, strong, and how to learn to manage the human experience. I pray for that. Because all we do is fill their heads with academic learning that has nothing to do with joyfulness and self-management and understanding. We allow our kids to eat junk and then get into their iPad and iPhone and all these things so early that they don't develop the right muscles in the hand like we use for writing. They don't see the analog world that we saw, to the digital world, and then all this blue light that they're consuming, they're experiencing. Not good for us. So we need radical change in our world. I don't know how it will happen, but we in the Blue Star focus on that development. So mind control is extremely important. Your thoughts create your destiny. What surrounds you in this world is a result of all that you've thought of. That's what the Buddha said. You are a product of everything that you've thought of. That's what he said. That's why he was so much into that mind control. The silence, the lovingness, the contentedness, the vairagya. So how are you going to deal with this? Every day, engage yourself in mind training. The mantra, sitting down for a moment, giving attention to your body, the healing work that you can do in your body. Remember that Manomaya Kosha is a layer, an energy layer, and Vijnana Maya Kosha, processing, is a layer in the body, a kosha. So you're influencing every cell in your body. That's why I have the healing sessions going. And meditation sessions are primary. I began my spiritual work with teaching meditation throughout this country and eventually abroad. Meditation. In the beginning, I used to just sit in silence. And people used to have wonderful experiences in the silence. And then someone told me one day, someone said to me, "Why don't you guide?" And I thought, yeah, because when I sit in silence, it takes a while for the field to change. But in those days, I never spoke so much about the field. I experienced the field. And I taught in and from the field. But when I started to guide, I took the advice, and when I started to guide, I found that I could change the field quicker. And I could influence people even more. And I got some music, and I started to play that and started to create a field in the early meditation days. It was just awesome. And then I use kirtan, chanting, for bringing the mind to a better place. And that work has been amazing over the years, as you all know. So be mindful of what thoughts can do. Be mindful of where they originate from, how they occupy your mind, how they hold you, they grip you, and how they can influence your life and what is happening around you. Because your thoughts create your reality. This whole stage, karmic stage, is because of your thoughts. Change your thoughts, change your reality, change the stage. That's the formula. So be mindful. Be mindful of your thoughts. Transform them. And change your life and change your world. So I'm going to leave you with this. Thank you, everyone. Namaskar.